today, I will teach you a whole new way to invest your money. Hello, this is Jia. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube after all these years. I know I look a little bit different now, probably better. Well, you might have known me as the rejection guy who did 100 days of rejection therapy. Maybe you read my book, Rejection Proof. Maybe you watched my TED Talk on rejection. And guess what? This channel is not about rejection anymore. It's about teaching you how to invest your money and time in a way that you get the highest returns and most fulfillment. Frankly, I think this is a better topic. That's why I'm so excited. And today, I will teach you a whole new way to invest your money. Over the past 10 years, I developed a simple but radical way to invest called love investing. This strategy gave me an annualized compound return of 24.65%. Do you know what that means? And over the same 10-year period, I more than doubled the return of S&P 500 cumulatively. Now, these are just numbers, but investment is not about numbers, it's about life. My investment has enabled me to take some chances in life. It has enabled me to invest in entrepreneurship and make tough decisions for my career and my family. And it has even enabled me to buy houses in some of the most expensive real estate markets in the world. And I would not have been able to do this without love investing. More importantly, it gave me a sense of freedom and mastery. I know I'm in control of myself financially. And I know if in the future I don't do anything or take a lot of chances, I'll be okay. In this channel, I will teach you this investment strategy and all kinds of related topics. If you enjoy this video, do two things. One, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Two, go to loveinvestor.com. This is my new website. Actually, I pay a lot of money for the domain name. Go to loveinvestor.com and subscribe to my newsletter. I write one newsletter per week talking about my thoughts on investing money and time. In fact, both my video and writing are against everything you will hear from the mainstream financial media. It's pretty funny. You're gonna like it. Now, if you were a Wall Street guy, maybe you got some complicated financial models built by NASA scientists and with artificial intelligence and holding a data shooting bazooka. Maybe these videos are not for you. Well, actually, I take it all back. Even if you were all that, I bet if you invest the way I teach you, like everyone else, you're gonna be a better investor. Now, if you're an everyday regular person, meaning you got a normal job, you got 2 eyes, 1 nose, and you're not total weirdo, drop everything and watch these videos. You will never see investing the same way again. And you will not only beat the market, you're gonna crush it. I'll prove it to you. So before I start, I want to clarify that love investing is about investing in stocks. There are all kinds of ways to invest your money. You can invest in real estate, cryptocurrency, bonds, and sports cars. And I personally know someone who invests in old VHS tapes. I think it's a pretty terrible investment, but some people do it. Don't do it. And even with stocks, there are all kinds of different ways to invest. There's passive investing, active investing. You can do growth, value. You can invest domestically or internationally. But let me tell you, although you can make money investing in all kinds of things, love investing is the best. It's the best in 3 ways. 1, you will understand what you're investing. Famous investor Peter Lynch once said, you should only invest things you understand. But most people think the stock market is like a black box. It's so mysterious that you can't understand it. Therefore, people put money in things they don't know, and they just hope that by luck or magic, it's gonna go up. And even when it does go up, they don't know when to sell to take the profit. If they sell too early, they can leave money on the table. If they sell too late, they can lose all the profit. To them, investing is like gambling. Most people lose money on gambling. And even if they succeed, they can't repeat the process twice or 3 times. They can't do it consistently because they don't understand what they're doing. Love investing, on the other hand, is the most intuitive way to invest. Not only you will understand what you're doing, you are going to live it. You will integrate your investment with your lifestyle. You will understand these companies better than some of the Wall Street analysts. And guess what? Even better than some of the people who work at these companies that you're investing in. 2, it's the most fun way to invest. I love having fun. You probably realize that by now. I love having fun. But most people think investing is like a mental game that involves numbers and charts and bars and tickers goes up and down. You've got to be a math genius to make money from stocks. Is math fun? Let's take a look at how people talk about stocks in some of the financial channels.
But 5 minutes ago, you told me that you would wait to do anything because you think the market could come down more because of earnings and other things. But now you say for Alphabet, which is your largest position, that you would add on weakness. So which is it? Now I'm confused.
Well, if I had capital,
I mean, look at these people. It looks like they had bad yogurt and trying to hold it in while talking. To them, investing is a necessary evil for them to make money. But where's the joy in this? On the other hand, love investing is all about having fun. It requires no complicated financial and math knowledge. You don't need an Ivy League degree. If you can do basic math like division and multiplication, like if you know 1 divided by 5 equal to 0.2, it's 0.2, right? I think it is. If you know that, you'll be okay. Let me tell you a secret. I don't like math. I mean, I'm okay with it, but I don't like it that much. I know I look like a financial genius, and I probably dishonor my family by admitting to this, but I don't like math. I don't like numbers. But in love investing, you never touch the financial stuff. All you need is your heart and intuition. In fact, it is likely the only investment strategy that relies on your right brain, which represents creativity, heart, love, emotions, fun, instead of your left brain, which represents analysis, judgment, logic. It goes against everything you have been taught about financial literature and investment. But it's so much fun. You'll become the part owner of some of the greatest companies in the world, the companies you love. You're still going to spend money on them, but the money you spend will actually make you money. I'll explain to you later. It's magical. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it! And reason number 3, love investing crushes the market. Most people nowadays will teach you to passively invest in index funds like the S&P 500, which represents the overall market returns. If you go to any of the other financial channels, YouTube channels, they're going to sell you on the gospel of index funds. They will tell you index funds are the smartest and safest ways to invest. You get to invest in 500 companies instead of one. 80 to 95% of the active traders underperform the market. So instead of trying to beat the market, you should just try to invest in the market, blah, blah, blah. And if you dare to tell them that you can beat the market and you don't believe in index funds, they're going to try to crucify you. Let me tell you another secret. I hate index funds. I think they suck. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, over the past 10 years, I've accomplished an annualized compound return of 24.65%. The cumulative return has more than doubled the S&P 500. And by definition, if I were an index fund investor, I would not have accomplished this. And I would not start this channel. And by the end of this video, I'll break it down even further. But just in the long term, love always crushes the market.
Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime.
Okay, you've heard a lot about how awesome love investing is. Maybe by now you'll be like, yeah, okay, this is awesome. What is this? How do I do it? I mean, if you are not asking this question by now, wake up. Get a caffeine infusion or something. You should want to know, is this some secret formula? Did it come with a scroll, come from ancient Israel? Do I use AI? No. Love investing is actually very simple. You buy and only buy the stock of companies you love in your personal lives. And you buy 10 to 30 of them. You hold onto them for as long as you still love them. You ignore your calculation, your urge to outsmart the market. But instead, you rely on your emotion and your intuition to guide you in your investment decisions. And if you do that over the long term, you're going to be a very successful investor and you can make a lot of money. That's it. It sounds very simple, but it's true. Now, there are a lot of discipline and execution that's required to do this right. And I'll show you how to do love investing and succeed in the long term in the next video. But the principles are as simple as they get. You might think this is crazy. You might be wondering, how do you double the market by investing like this? The reason is simple. If you're a normal person, you're not some sort of weirdo. If you love a product, millions of other people will also love the same product and same company. And the ability to make products that people love is the #1 indicator of a great business. And being a great business is a #1 indicator of a long-term stock performance. And this information will be your #1 advantage when you make investment decisions. Being a loyal customer of a company is like having insider information, and it's better than any insider information the Wall Street guys can come up with. Still don't believe me? Let me show you some proof. My website is called loveinvestor.com. Every year, my readers will enter a contest by listing their top 10 most loved companies in real lives. And we're going to track a hypothetical portfolio of these stocks. And we're going to compare them to each other and to the market. And based on their input, we'll come up with the most popular 10 companies of all my readers. We put them together into a portfolio. It's called Top 10 Love Portfolio, TTLP. We update this every year. We started the contest in October 2021. Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Disney, Tesla, Netflix, Costco, Facebook, and Spotify. Here are their average returns for these 10 companies, which were more than 4 times higher than the S&P 500 over the past 5 years. You can see these are some of the most well-known companies in the world. In fact, if you look at the S&P 500 list, if you rank them by market caps, which the size the companies are, the top 6 companies are all love companies. There's a direct causal relationship here. People love these companies and their stock go up, and they become bigger and bigger, and now they're the biggest in the world. Now, there's a caveat. Investment is forward-looking, not backward-looking. So I can't just tell you that the TTLP has outperformed the market for the past 5 years. Because 5 years ago, the TTLP might look different. That's why I want to look into the future to see what will happen in the future versus in the past. When you compare performance, you have to do it in real time. You have to track it month to month, week to week, or day to day. That's why earlier I showed my real returns that were being tracked month to month by my brokerage firm. Those are the real data. On top of that, starting in January 2016, I started doing my own tracking. I plug in my own number into a spreadsheet and track it week to week. I want to see how my love portfolio would do against the S&P 500. And this is how it looks like. You almost double the market returns for the past 5 years. And going forward, we'll be doing the same thing with the TTLP, the collective top companies put in by my readers. If you go to my website, loveinvestor.com, you're going to see a section called Love versus Market. It tracks real month-to-month data comparing the TTLP against the market. Win or lose, I'll make it all transparent and public. Where do I get all the confidence? Well, the reason is simple. I believe in love, and so should you.
Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime.
If you enjoyed this video, please do 2 things. 1, like this video and subscribe to my channel. And 2, go to my website, loveinvestor.com, and subscribe to my newsletter. I love making this video, and I love writing that newsletter. I love investing. I love it. I love it! I love it!